Namaste people, I am Anmol Sarkar. So if you guys have seen my last video, you guys must have an idea about who I am and what I am trying to do and what this channel is all about. So in the last video, I have talked about the what we say various things of biblical mythology and Hamitic. We have seen that how Noah's sons were cursed, and we have seen completely the biblical and the Hamitic mythology. In today's episode, we will see that how Sir William Jones maps Indians into that biblical mythology or the son of Hams. We will go into that in detail. Okay, so before starting this video, recently I have come across a news regarding a prominent historian named as Ramchandra Guha. He has tweeted something about the Gujaratis and Bengalis, where he said that Gujaratis are economically advanced but culturally weak, while Bengalis are culturally advanced and economically weak. So I am bringing up this topic because this is related to this Breaking India series. Now this historian, this self-proclaimed historian, is trying to create a divide between the East and the West by tweeting such things, and means trying to implant hatred into their minds. As I have said earlier also, no culture is superior, no culture is inferior. Every culture has a unique place of its own. When I was talking in my second episode about how they are trying to break North and South, and Tamils and North, etc. In that time I have told a very important statement. India is a land of diversity where every culture has its own place. No culture is superior to other, or no culture is inferior to other. If we see that Gujarat is a very land of diversity, if you see the cultural heritage of Gujarat, Gujarat is also known as land of Lord Krishna. Dwarka Nagari, which is in Gujarat, is also known as the land of Lord Krishna. So I can't really say that Gujarat is culturally weak. Gujarat has a very different culture of its own. Okay, from kite flying festival to the Gujarati language, to the sweetness in their dishes, to the run of Kutch. All these things are present in the Gujarati culture, where these things are not present in the Bengali culture. And if you want to think that I am a Gujarati and I support Gujarat and all, please don't think so, because all of my friends who are seeing this video know which language I speak and where I belong from. Okay, so it is very futile to try to judge me. So I was just trying to make the difference very clear here. That Bengal has produced many revolutionaries such as Netaji Bose and Swami Vivekananda and many such ideals, and similarly Gujarat has also produced many revolutionaries such as the Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, our famous, the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi. These two very ideals belong to the very land of Gujarat. So it is very excuse me, it is very futile to compare which culture has given more to India, because both of this culture has given equally to the development of this nation. So please don't fall into such traps. And if you want, and those who know that whether I am a Gujarati or a Bengali, please don't try to fall into such traps. Every culture is equal and has its unique place. Bengal culture has some unique points in it, while Gujarat culture has unique points in it which the Bengali culture doesn't have, while the Bengali culture has some unique points which the Gujarati culture doesn't have. So there is no point in comparing any culture in India, because every culture has its unique part which is not present in the other culture. May it be language, may it be food, may it be region and etc. So please don't fall into such traps, and make sure that your friends also don't fall into such traps. Please, anyone who comes to you with such hatred, means hate filled sentences, or tries to show you that he is superior, please tell all this cultural uniqueness of Gujarat and cultural uniqueness of Bengal. So that was it for the recent political part. Actually, I wanted to tell you this because this is how these Breaking India forces operate. They will try to project one uniqueness of one culture as superior to the other, and that is how conflicts arises, and we end up fighting with each other. So there is no point in doing it and please don't fall into the trap of this Breaking India sources. Okay, and similarly we will see in this video how Sir William Jones maps Indians into this biblical ethnology, which I have explained in an earlier video, in which Hamitic mythology I have explained that now Noah's sons repopulated the earth and now Noah's son Ham was cursed and all. So without wasting any further time, let's start. Now the idea of hierarchical family tree structure for races has a long history in races of mind. Similarly, what this guys did that now to map Indians into their Christianity, they could map what was similar, such as language of Sanskrit, which is similar to the Indian part. They could map it easily by claiming the common grounds, but they could not map the time scale because their history has originated 1500 years ago and India's history is around 7000 years ago. Yes, 7000, absolutely 7000, because recently that Ram Setu origin has proved it. So more than 7000 years ago history was there in India. So the problem arises for these people is how will they map 1500 years to the 7000 years history time scale. So what they did was they started rejecting all this time scale. For example, whatever that did not fit into their framework, they termed it as mythology and it did not exist. Okay, while what they could take, what they could appropriate within their framework, they did it and they digested it. Okay, now this Sir William Jones, now I will tell you how did they appropriate it. Okay, they appropriated it through extrapolation. Okay, now through extrapolation, what is extrapolation? Means they are finding similarities between, for example, two languages, European language and Sanskrit. They find similarities and they try to project it that this similarity came from the European language, and that is how they appropriated it. Okay, for example, syllabical similarity, Jones related this Hindu deity Ram to the biblical Rama. In biblical mythology, there is a god named as Rama. He appropriated that our ancient Indian god Ram has originated from this Rama. And Ram's son Kush, you know that there are two sons of Ram, Love and Kush. Okay, now this Ram's son Kush was appropriated to the biblical figure Kusa, named as Cusa, Kusa. Okay, Kush to Kusa. Okay, so this is how they were appropriated. And the grandson of Ham, Kusa, actually this guy Kusa was the grandson of Ham, and the son of Lord Ram, Kush, was appropriated to this. And this is how they mapped that Indians are the descendants of the Ham, and they are cursed for perpetual slavery to the descendants of the other two sons. Okay, now his theory was that after Noah's flood, Rama reconstituted the Indian society. India was therefore one of the oldest biblical civilization. Okay, now he said that Rama was descendant of Ham, and since Rama repopulated the society after the ancient flood. Rama, Hinduism is a part of biblical society. Just notice how these distortions are taking place, okay? Because Rama existed 7,500 years ago and this guy Noah came 1500 years ago. So it doesn't make any sense that how the appropriation is correct, okay? Now just look at how these distortions are taking place. In doing so, Joseph met Manu. You know Manu. For those who don't know who is Manu, let me give you a very short example. The creator Brahma, you know Brahma. Brahma is the creator of this universe. Brahma lives for 100 years, okay? And in each days of Brahma there are 14 Manus, and the time period of each Manu is 71 cycles. 71 cycles of the 4 yugas, that is Satya, Dwapar, Treta, Kali. 71 cycles of Satya, Dwapar, Treta, Kali is the one lifespan of Manu, and there are 14 Manus in a one day of Brahma, okay? Now if we want to calculate the time span, the time span goes very long, so we will not go into that. Just remember that one Manu lives for 71 cycles, okay, of Satya Yug, Dwapar Yug, Treta Yug and Kali Yug. Now Satya Yug lasts for 18 lakh years, okay, 18 lakh years. Dwapar Yug lasts for something 12 to 15 lakh years it lasts. Treta Yug lasts for 8 lakh, I will not say the exact numbers, you go and research it. Lasts for something 8 lakhs year, and the Kali Yug, which is the present Yug, is going to last for 4,32,000 years. So 71 into the time scale of this is a lifespan of one Manu. Similarly, there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. So if you want to see how old our ancient civilization is, so it goes way beyond 10,000 years. Not only 10,000, it goes lakhs, it goes beyond lakhs and lakhs of years, but we will just go into the historic records. What our historic records prove that the oldest historical monument is Ram Setu, which is 7,000 years. So you can surely say that our history is 7,000 years old, and plus if we find any other such monuments, okay? So in this is how this is how our Sir William Jones tried to map into the biblical ideology. Now see how this is going, okay? Now what he did is he told that the fourth Vishnu avatar Narsimha is translated as Nirmoda, descendant of Ham. Therefore he started all this correlation between Indian deities to their biblical deities, okay? So this is how he tried to fix it, and distortions were taking place. Now the biblic-centric framework of timescale is what led Max Muller and many decades later to establish his dates and so-called Aryan invasion, which influences scholars to this day. This appropriation of biblical mythology to our Indian gods and the time scale, which led Max Muller to devise this Aryan invasion theory, which is still followed, which is still taught in our NCERT books till date. Okay, so we will talk about all this, what should be done, what should not be done in the last episode of this series. So just remember that still date it is this Aryan invasion theory is being taught. Okay. Now another scholar of Indian Christianity, which goes by the name Rasia, S. Sugritharja, Rasia S. Sugritharja. This Indian Christianity scholar quotes that with a concern to reinforce Christianity, Jones hermeneutical tactic was to redraw the chronological map of India. Okay, with the concern to enforce Christianity, Jones' hermeneutical tactic was to redraw the chronological world map of the world. He summarily dismissed outright and cumbersome and long drawn out Indian history. Means he is also saying that what he could appropriate, he appropriated, and saying what he could not fit according to the time scales, he simply rejected it. Okay, which did not fit with his time frame. As I have told you, the history recorded in the Genesis become the benchmark of discerning histories, and those which did not fit in had to squeezed in or erased or dismissed from this world alleged imagination. As I told you, which he could appropriate, he appropriated and propagated it as biblical history, and which he could not, he dismissed it or twisted it or dismissed it from the time frame. So this is how it all began. And however, this if you read Manusmriti, the caste system has a very different context, and the caste system which is prescribed in Manusmriti has a very different context, and it was written in a very different light. But this guy Jones distorted that caste system and projected it as the caste system which we know as today. Okay, so here it is also written in for instance, he was very familiar with Manusmriti, having translated in 1974. However, his description of the jati caste structure was distortion of the way it is described in Manusmriti. We will go into caste system in next episode. We will dedicate 2 to 4 episodes for caste system only. We will understand how Varna existed in our Indian society and how this got converted into caste system. Okay, Jones served as early appropriator of Hinduism in order to enhance credibility to Christianity. Okay, so this guy William Jones we must understand him very carefully. So this guy was the first appropriator who appropriated Hinduism into biblical mythology. Okay, so this was it for today, guys. In next episode we will continue with this only, how Jones did what and what is written in his works. But if I were to sum up in this video, but it would have taken too long. So this is it for today, guys. Enjoy this video and have a nice day.